Today on the workbench, we have the Bulova 672, made in Japan for the Bulova Watch Corporation in 1962. This looks like real money. I think that's an actual rhinestone. Wow, super small and super well presented. My God, look at this case. It comes in unknown condition. I heard it takes a weird battery. So let's open it up and see what we got. Well, that's interesting. Needs a 5.2 volt, I believe, mercury battery. Okay. First, let's see if we can get it to work, and then we'll worry about the battery later. Right now, let's give it some power. The battery terminals look a little corroded, but we can probably fix that. Well, something's happening. Volume works, but no stations. All right, let's get it apart and change out the caps. I think that might be enough. I only see two electrolytics, an axial and a radial. What's going on here? Okay, we have two capacitors hiding over here too. This thing is so packed in. Okay, well, one at a time. Let's go. I think we got him. 30 microfarads. Yeah, we got a lot of those. Let's put some in. When you change an axial to a radial, you often need some heat shrink tubing so that the leads don't end up touching something they shouldn't. All right, there's one. Let's move on to this guy. Oh, we got him. Well, there's two of them. Now we got these guys. Stacked sideways. I've never seen that, but this is a really small radio, so that must be why. There's two components here. There we go. So he fell right out. He looks like a 10 microfarad. So let's get that. I think it'll be easier if we pull both of them out before putting the new ones in. And he is a 30 microfarad. Alrighty, that might hold them. Why don't we put a little bit of heat shrink tubing on this guy too? Now let's get the first guy in, and then we're done. That's pretty tricky, packing all those guys in there. Something that's fun to do is to measure the capacitance of these things we took out. This is the 5, and he's toast. This is one of the 30s, and it can't even sense that it's here. That doesn't sound too good either. All right, totally toast. This is another 30. ESR 4, 41, the best of a bad lot. And the last 30. And toast. So these capacitors were in terrible condition, and that's probably why the radio didn't work. Okay. So before we move on to the battery issue, I think we need to address these corroded terminals. Let's try sanding it a little bit. See if we can find some bare copper here. All right, now let's move on to the battery issue. This radio takes a 5.2 volt battery that fits in a very, very small compartment. And that battery hasn't been made in decades. I did find these 4LR44 batteries. They're common and easy to find on Amazon, and they're cheap. They put out 6 volts, but I'm pretty sure these radios, if they're designed for 5.2, they're not going to blow up at 6. It's too small to fit as it is now, but if I 3D print an adapter, I bet I can make it fit. So let's go do that now, and I'll be back. All right, let's build the battery adapter. This will fit in here, and we'll put that in there. It's going to work out great. The negative terminal doesn't stick out very far, so we're going to need to make a tab for that. About there and there sounds good. He fits in there with a nice friction fit. So let's put a little mark where the bend goes, and then we probably need to cut it here. Perfect. What do you think? Gonna work? Well, let's clean up this case a little bit. All right, final assembly. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'll be making more. And if you see something I missed, please leave a comment. I'm here to learn. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.